Hey Sarah, good to see you again. It's been a while.
Hi, Bill. Yeah, it has. You know what? I'm really in the mood to talk about art today.
All right then. If that's what you're into today, I'm happy to go along with it. So let me ask you, who's your favorite painter?
That's a tough one. If I had to choose, I'd say Vincent van Gogh. His paintings feel so raw, so emotional. You can almost feel his pain on the canvas. What about you?
I admire Van Gogh too, but my choice would be Pablo Picasso.
Picasso? Interesting. People usually describe him as a genius, but also controversial, difficult, even arrogant.
Exactly. And that's part of what fascinates me. But there's another reason I find him so interesting, not just as an artist, but as a person.
Oh? Now you've definitely got my attention.
You know how most great artists in history struggled financially, right?
Of course. Van Gogh is the perfect example. He barely sold any paintings while he was alive and depended on his brother just to survive.
Right. And many artists only became famous after they died. Their work became valuable, but they never got to see that success.
Which is kind of tragic when you think about it.
It is. And that's exactly what makes Picasso so different. He was one of the very few artists who became incredibly wealthy while he was still alive.
Really? I knew he was famous, but I didn't realize he was that wealthy.
Oh, he absolutely was, and it wasn't luck. Picasso didn't just paint and hope someone would buy his work. He understood the art world, and he understood money.
So you're saying Picasso was a businessman too?
Very much so. Think about his early decisions. When Picasso was young, he moved to Paris, the center of the art world at the time. He put himself exactly where influence, critics, and collectors were.
Unlike artists who isolated themselves.
Exactly. Picasso socialized constantly. He met writers, poets, gallery owners, wealthy patrons. He made sure people were talking about him.
So he built a network.
Yes. Today we'd call it networking or personal branding. Picasso did it instinctively, long before those words became popular.
But his art was risky, wasn't it? Cubism wasn't exactly easy to understand.
That's what made it powerful. Picasso constantly reinvented himself. Blue period, rose period, cubism, surrealism. Every phase felt like a new chapter.
So collectors never got bored.
Exactly. They weren't just buying a painting. They were buying into the next idea. Picasso created anticipation. He turned artistic change into a feature, not a risk.
That actually sounds like modern product innovation.
It is. And on top of that, Picasso was incredibly productive. Thousands of works, paintings, sculptures, ceramics, prints. But here's the key. He didn't flood the market carelessly.
How so?
He worked closely with smart art dealers who controlled supply and demand. Prices were managed. Scarcity was protected. His name stayed valuable.
That's such a contrast to Van Gogh.
Completely. Van Gogh painted to survive emotionally. Picasso painted to express himself and understood how the market worked.
Do you think that makes Picasso's art less pure?
I don't think so at all. Picasso believed money gave him freedom. Freedom to experiment, freedom to take risks, freedom to create without worrying about survival.
That's actually a refreshing perspective.
It really is. Picasso didn't believe suffering made art better. He believed success protected creativity.
So when Picasso died, what happened to all his work?
That's one of the most fascinating parts. Picasso kept many of his best works instead of selling them too early.
Really?
Yes. When he died in 1973, his estate was so valuable that his family paid inheritance taxes using his artworks.
Wow. So his art literally became currency.
Exactly. Many of those pieces are now in major museums around the world. His legacy wasn't accidental, it was planned.
It's ironic, isn't it? We romanticize the idea of the starving artist, but Picasso proved you don't have to suffer to be great.
Yes. He completely broke that myth. Picasso showed that an artist can be both deeply creative and financially intelligent.
So in a way, he didn't just paint masterpieces, he built a system around his talent.
That's the perfect way to describe it.
You know, I still love Van Gogh. His story is tragic, but incredibly powerful.
Nothing wrong with that. Van Gogh represents pure emotional expression. Picasso represents mastery, not just of art, but of life.
I guess that's why Picasso stands out. He lived to see his success.
Exactly. He lived well, he died wealthy, and he left behind one of the strongest artistic legacies in history.
You've officially changed the way I see Picasso.
Then my mission is complete.
Next time, let's talk about another artist who broke the rules.
Deal. But I don't think many can compete with Picasso, the artist who knew the value of his own genius.
That's all for today's 5-Minute Talk. Thank you so much for listening.